What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Niners News here on 49ers Hive. My name is Zach Hernandez. I'm joined by my co-host, Matt Llewellyn, and today we're going to be talking about the most valuable player on the 49ers that is returning from injury. Matt, do you want to go first?
Sure, yeah. I don't know if he's the most valuable player returning from injury, but he's definitely the one that intrigues me the most, and I think that's Jalen Hurd. We just got the smallest glimpse in the preseason against Dallas, but man, did he make an impact. He looked like a big, fast, fight for the extra yard type of dude. Super exciting, a big receiver, which we haven't really seen in this offense. Somebody that could give, defenses fits in the red zone. If he can come back from that back injury, man, it completely changed the outlook of the receivers. To me, that's the guy, followed closely by Trent Taylor, who obviously is a favorite of Jimmy G and really is kind of a darling for the fan base. He was out there doing some routes the other day that I first saw him making some cuts. He looked really good. It's exciting to see him get out there. But yeah, for me, third round guy, Jalen Hurd, big guy, young guy, strong guy, not afraid of contact. Man, if he can get out there, sky's the limit. What about you, Zach?
Jalen Hurd's kind of the go-to answer for this question. And, like you said, he's got a lot of fans excited about him on social media. But for me, it's kind of a less sexy answer, but I'm going to go with DJ Jones. Okay. The guy was playing really, really well before his injury last season, and he was establishing himself as a starter on this team. He's a big run stopper who was able to just kind of, eat the gaps up and not have to worry about being double teamed. He would take it on, no problem. And there was a noticeable difference in the 49ers run defense when DJ Jones got injured. So I think him coming back, although the 49ers drafted Javon Kinlaw and he'll likely be competing with him for time, I think that him even being a rotational player, maybe he'll start the season, maybe Kinlaw will start the season, but even him just coming off the bench on, certain downs, I think that's going to be very, very impactful for the 49ers to have him as that type of player. What do you think about DJ Jones? Do you think that his role is going to kind of be downsized this season?
I don't think it'll be downsized because essentially Kinlaw is going to be a rookie replacement for DeForest Buckner, who left in that trade to the Colts. That essentially netted us Kinlaw. But I think Kinlaw actually to start out is going to be, a little bit more of a rotation guy himself. You don't want to give too much to a rookie right off the bat, which could increase the playing time for DJ Jones and in turn also returning from injury, Ronald Blair, who could get in there for some rotation work too. DJ Jones, I really like the kid. Every time I see him, he's such an entertaining and jovial personality. He's a fun-loving guy. He's kind of like, when you have so many intense guys, it's always good to have a guy there that can break up the mood, but he also does his job. He's a load inside, and he can bring down runners, and he can get good push on that offensive line and disrupt the backfield. So it'll be nice to have him back. I definitely agree that, he's going to be an impact player. But, as far as his role, I think it actually is going to be a little bit more just because Kinlaw is a rookie. He's not going to be that, I think Buckner played something like 95% of the defensive snaps. Buckner almost took no plays off. So for me, at least year one, I think DJ Jones is going to have a bigger role because Kinlaw is such a raw prospect and, a rookie, and you don't want to overwhelm the rookie. DJ Jones been here for a couple of years. He knows what's going on. And, sometimes it's better to go with veteran presence. But in any event, he's going to help Kinlaw along for sure.
Okay. So that's nice to know. That's nice to think that, he's going to benefit and he'll be beneficial to a rookie, kind of grow his talents. Now, Matt, being our medical expert on the team here, he did miss the rest of the season, I believe, with a significant ankle injury. I know you probably don't know the specifics about that, but given his position, is that something to worry about long term?
I think you go back to Ian Williams, who had a significant ankle injury, and that's worst case scenario where it kind of ended his career. For DJ Jones, again, you have to go in assuming that once you have these injuries and once you get these things taken care of, that you're going to be able to return at close to 100%. Injuries are what they are, and I don't think there's any way that even if you have something surgically repaired, that's going to be as good or better than what it was naturally. So you're hoping to mitigate as much of that fall off as possible. For DJ Jones and the ankle, you just hope that everything healed well. It comes back. It's nice and strong. He doesn't have any problems with it. If he doesn't have a history of those type of things, then you're not really worried about it. As long as the healing took place properly. He had a good rehab regimen going on, and he took care of the things that he needed to take care of to rebuild strength, to maintain mobility, and to make sure that he protected the injury, then he should be fine.
Okay, so that's promising. Now, touching on your pick, Jalen Hurd, big target, showed what he can do in that one game, preseason game against the Cowboys, got a lot of fans excited, and then unfortunately he had that back injury. That injury is a lot more serious than an ankle injury that DJ Jones suffered from. Is there any concern there moving forward?
There's always concern with the back. When you have an injury like that, and again, it's still kind of unspecified what exactly was done with it as far as like, treatment and all this stuff. It's still a little bit nebulous. We just kind of got that, he's progressing. Oh, well, he's progressing. We don't know what that means. A back like that, it could be a situation where, his career isn't as productive because he needs to take, more time to rest and recuperate in between games, or, he could have setbacks. A back is a very sticky thing. As someone who's gone through a ruptured disc surgery myself, I can tell you that, it's sometimes it's a hard recovery, and you have leftover things that you didn't have before, and you kind of have to just, get with it. A lot of times it's in your headspace, and stuff does, feel a little weird, and it's all a matter of how he feels, how long he can feel good about what he's doing. And we need to see him out there. Really, it's going to be telling when he takes contact. I mean, that's going to be, because you can get out there, you can run routes, you can lift weights, you can do all this stuff until your body gets moved in a direction that's not exactly natural. Like, maybe he plants and takes a hit to the upper body while his lower body's going the opposite direction, and he needs to get a little twist on that back and see how it holds up. Then we can kind of evaluate where he's going to go from there. But a back injury is, especially this early, it's something that I said with DK Metcalf, who I think is a tremendous talent, but he's also had a neck fusion by the time he was 20 years old. So there's those things where one of the things that you can't ever truly fix is your spine, and you have to protect that no matter what. So it is going to be a concern probably for the rest of his career. We're always going to have to, keep that in the back of our mind. Hey, he's had back issues. JJ Watt, another example of a guy who had a back surgery, came back. It didn't quite go right. He had to have another one. And, the second time was the charm for him. So again, it's just the back is the back. It's very complicated. It's hard to fix once it's injured, and you just have to kind of keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it's just one of those horrible injuries that most people never really recover from fully. They continue to live with the pain, at least in some effect, some level of pain for the rest of their lives. So I do hope that Jalen Hurd, is able to recover and play. I just want to say, it wasn't just fans that were excited about Jalen Hurd's potential. Peter King of Sports Illustrated went out and, traveled with the team last season. And in the preseason, he, talked about it. And he had a quote here saying that, essentially he just saw, here's the quote right here, that, he was out there with the team and, quote, "I walked out of camp. We got into the car. We were going to the next place. And the two women I was traveling with asked what my impression was of Jalen Hurd. I said, we just saw the 2019 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Hurd's going to come out of nowhere. He's going to be fantastic." So a guy like Peter King, who's been around for years, decades, really, he knows his players. He knows what he sees. I think we should be able to trust his eyes. So there's a lot of reason for the 49ers, for their fans, to be excited about Jalen Hurd and his potential and, his effect in this offense. And John Lynch even spoke about it back in April of this year. And when asked about his health, he said, "We're very optimistic. I don't want to be overly optimistic because last year we saw some progress and then we had some setbacks. I'll let that thing continue to take its place." Matt, we did also hear prior to the Super Bowl that we didn't hear it until months later by Matt Mayoko, I believe, broke that Jalen Hurd didn't even travel with the team because of fear that his back might not be able to handle the plane flight. There's just so much conflicting information, but not necessarily conflicting, but it's like John Lynch said, it's promising, and then you have a setback. It's promising, and you have another setback. So, man, I just really hope for the sake of the 49ers and for the sake of Jalen Hurd, he works out because I think he could be a real threat in this league.
Absolutely. You do hope it works out. And like you said, it's just, you have good days, you're going to have bad days. And, it's a lot of conflicting information. Some people saying, oh, his career could be over. John Lynch saying, hey, we're playing it one day at a time. He's progressing well. Who knows? I guess we'll find out soon.
Yes, we will. Guys, we're going to leave it on that. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Our handles are below on the screen. And make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Do you think DJ Jones or Jalen Hurd will be more valuable to the 49ers returning from injury? Do you think any of them will suffer long-term effects from their injuries? Make sure you let us know below, and we'll pick a comment below that we agree with for the next video.
And go ahead and hit the bell for all your notifications. We're bringing you 49ers news every day of the week.
Thanks, guys.
Go Niners.